Kevin G with a weather overview. We got the surf zone forecast here. If you're going out to the beach today, and basically for the first half of the week, it looks like pretty rough surf from Tropical Storm Chris, and that will be affecting the waves and the ocean, but really not our weather as far as the day-to-day is concerned. So I think we're in a pretty tranquil weather pattern, and the air mass that came in over the weekend is nothing short of spectacular for early part of July. Very low humidity. I think that humidity will come up somewhat for Tuesday and Wednesday, but then it'll go back down again for later in the week, and we don't really have any hot weather in the offing. I think that it'll be near to slightly above normal temperatures as far as against the actual normals for this time of year. Now, when we look at the satellite picture, you can see Tropical Storm Chris. It has maximum sustained winds of 45 miles an hour. So it's a minimal tropical storm, but conditions are favorable for this to become a hurricane. And it'll head out to the North Atlantic in due course. And that's because of the jet stream to the north will help to give it a little bit of a tug out to the north-northeast as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday. But nevertheless, something to keep an eye on. And all models are in pretty good agreement that this storm will stay well out at sea. And it's only going to be a factor for mariners and for surfers and people who venture out into the dangerous rip currents this week. Now, when we look at the overall weather pattern, we see that our old friend, the northern jet stream, is back, and it's going to dip once again to the south, and it's going to take Chris with it as we go through the latter portion of the week. Also, what it's going to do is keep extreme heat relatively at bay. With the presence of that northern jet stream, you don't really get sustained heat like we saw last week, and that's because, contrary to this image, the northern jet was absent. It was well up into the Canadian Maritimes. As we go in through time, we see that more ridging does get established over the east, but as we head into early next week, if we go forward, you see that northern jet once again coming down by the middle to latter portion of next week. So it really doesn't have time to build up excessive heat over the region. When we take a look at Weather Underground, our chances for precipitation are very minimal. We have a threat for Tuesday afternoon, but I think these will be widely scattered storms. Not a lot of support for rain over the next 5 to 7 days. Perhaps later on in the period, we can get into some passing showers at times as that northern jet starts to reestablish itself, every few days. But other than that, it's a pretty tranquil weather pattern, pretty nice, delightful weather pattern going forward with temperatures mainly in the 80s for the extended forecast period.